In this video, we're going to learn how to set up the JUnit environment with the help of JDK and IntelliJ download and installation. Before getting into the setup, let us learn what is JUnit. JUnit is a very popular open source testing framework. It is used to write and execute unit tests. Let us understand few of the key features of JUnit. Annotations, assertions, test runner, integration, and of course the parameterization testing. Now let us see how to do the setup. So to write the unit test cases, we have to use the annotations as we discussed in the slides. So basically I'm going to use the @test annotation, and it should also import it from the JUnit.jupyter.api. Okay. To summarize, in this video we have learned how to do the installation of JDK, IntelliJ, and also we have learned the very basic concept of what is JUnit and few of the key features of JUnit. Hello guys, welcome to Lambda Test. In this video and the following video of the playlist, we are going to learn the JUnit fundamentals. Before getting into the concept, let me introduce myself to you. I am Kaushik. I have 7+ years of experience in test automation, currently associated with EPAM system. Apart from my regular job, I am a content creator where I make videos on different aspects of testing and test automation tools. I have built a few products that is used by several test automation engineers. In this video, we're going to learn how to set up the JUnit environment with the help of JDK and IntelliJ download and installation. Followed by, we're going to also learn how to do the JUnit setup with the help of Maven dependencies. Before getting into the setup, let us learn what is JUnit. JUnit is a very popular open source testing framework. It is used to write and execute unit tests. JUnit is widely used in test-driven development. TDD is a software development approach where testing is focused first before the actual implementation of the code. Let us understand few of the key features of JUnit. Annotations, assertions, test runner, integration, and of course the parameterization testing. Annotations in the sense, whenever we write our unit test, we'll have some annotations. For example, at the test, and also we have few of the hooks like before each, before all, after all. We'll learn all those in detail in our upcoming videos. Assertions are mainly used to do the comparison of expected and the outcome of the actual. JUnit is basically a test runner where it will run all the tests in a systematic way and we can see the results. It is easily integrated with different build tools like the Maven or Gradle, and also it does support different types of IDE, for example Eclipse or the IntelliJ IDEA platform. We can run the same test with a different set of data, that is what known as parameterization testing. We are good with the basics of JUnit. Now let us see how to do the setup. So first of all, we are going to download and install the Java, that is JDK. So you can just Google JDK download and head out to the first link and we'll end up in oracle.com. And here you can see like we have Java 23 version, that is the recent version. We'll go with the earlier version of Java 21. So if you go to this JDK 21 and based on your operating system, in my case it's Windows, then followed by the installer ext4. Once you click on that, you will get the exe file. Similarly, if you go to Google and type IntelliJ IDEA download, head over to the first link. And here you can see we have this IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate. It's basically a paid version, so you can have like 30 days trial. We will skip this, and if you scroll down, we have the community edition, which is open source, and of course it is free to use. So click on the download based on your operating system. It will download the file. In my case, of course, it's a exe file. Already I have downloaded both the files, so let me just go and do the installation now. I will recommend you to first install the JDK because JDK will be eventually used by the IntelliJ, so it is recommended to install the JDK first. So double click on the exe file, very simple. And here we got this installer pop-up. Now click on the next and click on the next. And that's it. We are pretty much done. It's very simple. Now just to confirm, go to your command prompt and you can type Java then followed by dash dash version. If you are seeing something like this, then congratulations, your installation is successful. Now let's do the same for IntelliJ. So I'm going to double click on the exe file. Click on the next and then followed by the next, and you can skip this and click on the next and click on the install. Once the installation is done, you can see this pop-up where we can click on this run IntelliJ IDE. That means we want to open the IDE. Now click on the finish, so it will open up itself. We can skip this import settings, and first of all we'll have this welcome screen where we have two options. I mean three options. We can create a new project, we can open the existing, or we can do the clone from GitHub or GitLab. In my case, I'm going to create a new project. Click on the new project, and here we are going to select the Maven dependencies. So here you can click on this Maven, and first of all we have to give the title, that is name of the project. So in my case, I'm going to make it like Selenium then followed by LT, that stands for lambda test. I don't want to create a Git repository for now, so I will just skip this. And I also don't want to add a sample code. Let's skip this as well. Now here you can see that Oracle Open JDK 21 is by default selected because that is what we have installed in our system. Now let's click on this create button. So our basic Maven project is ready. So on the left hand side, you can see we have SRC, then we have main, and then we have the test folder. And if you go to the external libraries, as of now, we have all the libraries that is related to the JDK. But of course, we are going to learn the JUnit. So we have to install we have to add the JUnit dependencies. So it's going to be very easy. Just go to Maven repository. And here we can search for JUnit. So earlier the version was 4. Now the recent version is 5. So earlier it was like 𝐺JUnit.Jupyter. Now it's JUnit.Jupyter.API. So we are going to use this one. So first of all, we need two dependencies. So let me go into this. This is the API, and also we need the engine. So let's go to the latest version, that is 5.12. I mean, this is released just few days ago. So let's go to the previous one, that is 5.11.4. I'm going to copy this and let's go to our IntelliJ, and here I'm going to add the dependencies first. And within the dependency, I'm going to copy paste this Jupyter API dependencies. And also we need the Jupyter engine. So let's go back, and here I can see this JUnit Jupyter engine, which is also have the same version. So let's go and copy the dependency, and here we are going to paste it. And that's it. You can save your file. Once you saved your file, you can go to this guy and you can click on this. So this is basically your Maven sync changes. So whenever we add the dependencies, it has to be downloaded from the cloud and it will be stored locally in your machine within the folder called .m2. So here you can see, like, first of all, like we have only the Java 21 related libraries files. Now we have the JUnit Jupyter API as well as the engine. Now just to make sure like we have done the setup properly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a class file and then followed by a JUnit unit test case. Okay, so within the main folder within the Java, I'm going to create a new package, and let's name it like sample test, or let's name it like sample. And within this, I'm going to create a new class called 𝐶𝐿, and here I'm going to have two functions. So let's make it like public and then followed by int and followed by a function name called add, and here int num1 then followed by int num2, and of course it's going to return us the additional of num1 and num2. So return num1 plus num2. Similarly, I'm going to create another function with the name called sub, and of course it's going to do the subtraction num1 minus num2, or also we can say num2 minus num1, whichever is feels okay. Now let's go to our test folder. So unit tests are basically written within the test folder. Also the functional test, whatever we are going to write with the help of Selenium, will be following the same procedure. Within the Java package, we are going to create another package called probably like unit test, and then I'm going to create a new class file, and let's name it like 𝐊𝐶 then followed by test, and let's create a new function called my test, and here I'm going to create an object from the 𝐊𝐶 class. So let's create that. So 𝐊𝐶 and here we are going to use the JUnit assertion. So for that we have to use like assertion, and we have to call it from the JUnit.Jupyter.API. Okay, so assertion dot, and here we can say like assert true or assert equal. So we have different functions, we learn those in the upcoming videos. So for now I'm going to say like assert equals, and here we have to pass our expected first and then followed by the actual. So let's say that we are expecting 5 and the actual is from our function, that is 𝐊𝐶 dot add, and here I'm going to say 2, 3. That means 2, 3 is basically your 5, and that's going to return us 5. So it should pass, right? Now we are getting some issues. Let's see. Yeah, sorry. So instead of arrays assert equals, I have called the assert array equals. That's the reason. Now once we corrected that, you can see it's working fine. Okay. Now similarly, I can write another assertion as well. So let me copy paste, and here I'm going to call the sub function, and 2, 3 is basically -1, right? So we are going to pass the -1. Now how to run this? So if I do right click, and you can see we do not have any options. Even from here we do not have any options, right? So to write the unit test cases, we have to use the annotations as we discussed in the slides. So basically I'm going to use the @test annotation, and it should also import it from the JUnit.Jupyter.API. Okay. Now as soon as we do, we can see we got the green icon. That means IntelliJ is saying that hey, you can run the test. So once we click on that, and here you can select my test, that basically passed, right? Now instead of -1, let's say we are going to make it as +1. Now let's go and run this. Let's see what happens. And of course it's failed because we are the actual is basically your -1, but the expected is +1. So of course it's a wrong value. Okay. So that is how we do the unit testings, and we can also use the Selenium to do the functional testing that we are going to learn in our upcoming videos. To summarize, in this video we have learned how to do the installation of JDK, IntelliJ, and also we have learned the very basic concept of what is JUnit and few of the key features of JUnit. In the upcoming videos, we are going to learn how to write test cases in Java. Meanwhile, you can head over to the Lambda test platform, where within the resource we have like blogs, webinars, learning hubs, videos, and their success stories of their customers. You can check it out those. See you in the next one very soon. Tata, bye bye. Take care.